Hi YouTube, this is JJ714 coming back at you. Okay, so as a first-time cruiser, I'm just going to try to point out a few things, and I'm pointing them out from my perspective as a first-time cruiser. Now what I did do was I went on YouTube probably about the last 3 or 4 days before I was leaving. And there was a young lady named Sinister Sister that she took her cruise, I believe, about June 2011 last year. And one of the best points that she made on there for me, and she did have some really good tips, was she mentioned going to www.cruisecritics.com. There you will find a wealth of information. The people are very, very friendly. They will give you great advice. Most of the people on Cruise Critics, they are what you call seasoned cruisers. In other words, they've taken like several cruises. Some people take cruises every year, and hopefully I plan to be in that club, the every year cruiser. But some of the pointers that I wanted to point out for me that I thought was either good advice or some advice I wish I had taken was that I don't know if you see directly behind me on my door, this item right here, it's a shoe. It's a shoe catcher. I'm saying it's a shoe catcher, but you normally put your shoes in there. Well, it's an organizer. What you use this for, and it came in great handy for me. And as a matter of fact, one of the gentlemen who cleaned our rooms up, he made a comment on it how, he thought that was an excellent idea because you didn't have to worry about keeping things on your counter, because on the ship, the bathroom is very, very small. So if it's more than one person in the room, which more than likely it will be, you won't have enough room to put anything with, especially with 2 people. But, most of the time you want to travel with small items anyway, but even if you have larger size items like your combs and your brush and your toothpaste, I would keep like my toothpaste and my toothbrush and my gloss and my rinse in one little area and so forth. And I'm just telling you, it really, really, really saved a lot of space. And as a matter of fact, you see it on the back of my door. I will be using it even at home, because I tend to put stuff all over the counter, and I want my husband to start feeling like the bathroom is his too. So that was a good point. The second thing is as far as luggage. Now, unless a lot of you who, maybe you're rich or well-to-do and you don't have to worry about, giving Delta or, some of these other companies your money for, checking in more than one bag or your bags being overweight. Well, I call myself not taking a whole lot. In essence, I really did not take a whole lot. But I had my husband to take, because I had one big bag, which I was checking in. And with Delta, the fee is $25 to check in. With American Airlines, it's $25 to check in. So depending on, and that's your first bag. So depending on what part of the country you're coming from, the fee could be a little different. Your second bag will be $35 to check in. Well, guess what? I did not want to be paying Delta any more than I had to. So what I did was I had my husband bring an extra suitcase, just in case if I was overweight, whatever I thought that I could do without, I put it in our bag and let him take it back. And I ended up being 9 pounds over. So basically, I took out a container of Clorox wipes. I took out a pair of shoes, which they were black, and I was taking them because I had a black dress, but I really wasn't planning to wear them. So I sort of put those back because I figured my other shoes, if I had to, I could wear, those with the black dress. Then I took out a gown. And I think that was the only 3 things, because the young lady said, well, if you can get it down to 52 pounds, you'll be okay. So I got it down to 52 pounds. The next thing, depending on how many days you're going to be gone, you really can narrow down what you bring. For instance, we were doing, for me, it was like it was a women's conference. So they told us, if you go onto the ship's page, and depending on what type of ship that you're taking and the group that you're going to be involved in, if you're going to have a formal night, you want to at least have a formal wear. So, with women with formal wear, you're going to deal with the dress, shoes, undergarments, depending on what you're wearing. And then depending on your hair, you can have to deal with that kind of stuff. The other thing is that you're going to have like day clothes or day wear. Day wear for me was, I took 2 pair of shorts. I took a pair of white capri pants, which I never wore. I had 2 swimsuits. I had 1 cover-up. Let's see, and I think I took maybe a couple blouses, like 2 blouses, but I did have 2 sundresses too. And the reason is because I was either going to wear my sundresses when we went onshore, or I was going to wear my sundresses, during the daytime. I figure if I went swimming, which I didn't do until we went to the beach, I would wear my cover-up and I would have shorts on. And it just so happened one of my swimsuits blended with my cover-up, so I didn't really even have to wear shorts because my cover-up was pretty long. So that's basically what I wore. In the evening time, I wore dresses because we were going to be going immediately after dinner to a night affair. Now, we were gone for 5 nights, so I actually brought about 5 dresses. But in reality, I could have probably left 2 of those dresses because either I could have reworn a dress or I could have worn my white capri slacks and a nice top. The thing is that they do have laundry service. Now, I did bring, also, I took a steamer because most ships do not have ironing boards and irons in your room. So I brought a steamer. Let me warn you, if you're going to bring a steamer, I would say don't bring a steamer. Because of the fact that they're only going to have so many plugs in your room, and where the plugs are located at in comparison to where your bed is, it's a good distance. I had my steamer, I had extension cords, but from where the plugs were, which were when we walk in the room, I did do a picture, video of my room, and I have to try to find that my SIM card so I can actually load that on. But when you come in, it's really narrow. You have the bathroom, you have the closets. Right against the closet was a table, and that's where the plugs were. However, our beds were on the other end. So you would probably have to have about 3 extension cords in order for you to be able to plug the steamer up to reach it to your bed. So what my sister and I ended up doing, we ended up paying for the things that we needed to be pressed. We just paid for them to be pressed because they do have laundry service there. And with the fact of you dealing with additional things that you may not want to be carrying, such as a steamer, and then you have all the plugs and stuff, go ahead, make that, have money set aside to do, whether you have them do your laundry, which I don't like, personally I don't like anyone messing with my underwear, so I brought enough underwear that I didn't have to worry about anyone cleaning my underwear. You can bring your own detergent and you can wash in, the sink, but I didn't like that either because that sink is the same sink that I used to wash my face and brush my teeth. So I wouldn't want to think about, well, you know what I mean. So I won't go into any further details. But basically, limit yourself. Try to look at it in the sense, you know, if you're going to have form or not, you need a formal wear. Now, the great thing on ships, men, if you're taking a spouse or a boyfriend, they can rent tux on the ship. Women, on the other hand, they don't have that department as far as I know, at least not on the ship that I was at, but they might have on other ships. So, you know, make room for your formal wear. Make room for, you know, your day wear. Again, you can deal with 2 pairs of shorts maybe, or 3 pairs of shorts if you're a short person. Shoes, I took a pair of flip-flops. I took a pair of silver shoes because most of my dresses were purple. So I knew I was going to wear silver, and I had a silver purse. I also, my captain's nightgown was red, so I knew I could wear the silver, use the silver with the red. So I had a pair of flip-flops, my silver shoes, and I had a pair of aqua shoes for when I went to the ocean. And I did have a pair of sandals, and I wore those sandals with me. So I actually had 4 pairs of shoes. That's all I had. And I probably could have narrowed it down to, you know, like 3 pair. But the fact that I needed flip-flops because, one, I was going to be walking around in them, or when I took my shower, I didn't want to be walking around barefooted. So I like to have my flip-flops. And the aqua shoes, I used those for when I was on the beach and going to the water. And although I like the beach, I don't like the sand being between my toes. So my aqua shoes, I still got to wash them because I brought some sand back with me in them. But basically, in our packet that we had, our gratuities were included. However, I'm the type of person that I believe if a person gives excellent service, I want to tip them. So I did make sure that I carried a lot of 1s, and I also carried 5s so that I could, my sister and I, we left tips in the morning or in the evening for the person who did, because we had 2 different people, so we would leave tips in the morning for the morning person and tips in the afternoon for the evening person. If you want to, you could save it all to the end and give them 1 tip, but I just like to, you know, tip them along the way and then maybe leave something a little bit bigger toward the end. The weather was excellent. We did have, when we were in Jamaica, and we were actually on our way back in, I think it was maybe about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it started raining. But the rain came really, really quick, and it left really, really quick. Shopping, it was excellent. I would say, ladies, and I'm a person that likes to shop, but I was very, very modest because of the fact you're going to have to pay for the stuff when you come back. I made sure that I did get souvenirs for family and a few friends, but I didn't try to go overboard. Now, I told my husband, next time we go shopping, because there was some stuff in there on the ship that I was like, oh my God. So next time I will be prepared to go shopping. So that might mean that I will have to give Delta some extra money. But you can carry 1 bag. You can carry 1 bag in on the plane. Plus, ladies, you know we can carry some big purses. So if you want to stuff stuff in there too, you can have another big bag, which I did, like a shopping bag, to be my purse, as well as if you have a laptop, which I didn't take a laptop. I did have my book to read, but I didn't take my laptop, but I used that bag too. So technically I had 3 carry-ons, but you know, they were cool. I was able to keep a couple of them with me, so at my seat. So, and I was able to put them, you know, like in between my legs and everything. But overall, I just have to say is make sure when you're going on a cruise, you try to prepare way in advance. Make sure you have a passport. Some people feel like, well, you don't have to have a passport. You only need your birth certificate. Let me say things have changed now. you need a passport. It's easy to get out of the country, but coming back in the country, it's not going to be that easy. So the best thing is to get a passport. If you need to rush it, you can expedite it. It's like $60 extra. You can get it in 2 weeks. Otherwise, if you're not going to be going for 6 months or longer, just go ahead and apply for it. It'll take 6 weeks for you to get it, 4 to 6 weeks where you get it back. And passports are $110 for adults, for 16 and over and older. And it's I think $95 or $90 I believe for under 16. And they last 10 years with the exception of the younger kids who I think they only last, like, depending on their age, I believe 5 years or something like that. Let's see what else. Make copies of your birth certificate and your passports, because when you go off, oh, I didn't bring it with me. I might try to bring it back next time, because this is getting sort of long and I don't want to make it too long, which it is already long. So what I'm going to do is stop this video, and then I'll come back and bring the other thing that I want to show you, so that I can continue this one, okay? Talk to you soon. Peace.